Alright guys, welcome to part 3, and this video is going to be building the arrays, and we're going to build up the arrays in the fragment, and we're just going to get the fragment itself working, and then we're going to explain what we're going to do with the fragment. So you're probably thinking, why am I embedding the fragment in the main activity and then using it to display the UI? What is the point? Why don't I just put it all in the main activity and be done with it? Well, the thing is, if you have a list of text, okay, what we want to do is, ideally, is that we're trying to do this, okay, and I'm going to actually show you another image in here, Android tutorials, this. We want to do that. So what we're going to do is, our plan is to build our list of elements along here, okay, and then this is going to when you click one of these lists, it's going to do either one of two things. It's either going to put the fragment, it's either going to load the data into a new fragment here, or else it's going to load the data into a new activity, and it's going to contain the fragment. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video, in this tutorial as well, is building up this. And there's an example of this on the developer documents, a good example, but it's not well explained. So I'm going to try and explain things the best I can. So that's our plan, is to do that. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to build this list, okay, in the fragment. And that's why fragments are so useful, is because you can organize them whatever way you like. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to have a fragment here, okay, as we've done before. Now what we're going to actually build here is, if I just bring that down there. First thing we're going to do is we're going to separate out this view anyway first. I don't know why I even have that. I'm going to get rid of this log file, log statement, and make that view. Okay. So we're going to modify our XML file for the fragment. So we're going to get rid of this silly text view, and we can get rid of this as well. In fact, now what I've done, if you don't see what I'm doing over here, I've right clicked on the relative layout and just hit change layout, which brings up this here, and we can just put in a frame layout, for example. Oops, frame layout. Okay, done. And then in this layout, we're going to put a list view. There's a list view. Okay, done. So I've got our list view ready to go. So we're going to edit ID. I'm going to call this elements list. List. Done. Okay, so we've got our elements list ready to go. So we've got our view ready. So we're going to get our list view. We're actually going to put that up here. We're going to create our list view. It's the same thing. We're just going to create a basic. We're going to create a basic list view here, and then we're just going to put down here, and actually put these together. Elements list equals list view. Yeah, find view by ID or dot ID. God damn it. Elements list. Okay, done. Just have to import list view itself. Okay, so now we've got that ready to go. So now what we're going to do is we are going to create our array adapter. So very simple. Or actually put the array adapter up here. Array adapter, remember to type string. Okay, and then we're going to make our adapter. Equals new array adapter string yep, and then we need to yep, so we've done this here. So we've got our constructor here now ready. So So the array adapter has a bunch of things. So we've got our int, our text view resource ID, and our objects. So first of all, we need our context. I like to create a context up here. I know we gone through all this before, but context. And then in our onCreate view, we're going to say context equals get activity. So the context is essentially just the activity that it's being done in. So we put our context in here. So now we need our resource ID. So we're going to need a layout. This is very basic, usual stuff. We're just going to put a text view. Where's our frame layout? Actually, no, we'll make our layout a text view. Feck yeah. So where's text view? Don't forget, you can use text views as an actual. We'll just call this elements. Row layout. Elements row. Okay. And as you know, it's just a singular text view. We don't need to do anything fancy. We just need to add an ID to it. So elements text list text. Okay. I'm actually going to add a little bit of margin to it because otherwise they're going to be piled on top of each other and they're not going to look very good. So if we can go into the XML actually and edit this manually. So Android margins. Yeah, layout margins, and we'll just make it 5 dp, 5 density pixels. Okay, just to space it out a little bit. Okay, good. So now we need the resource ID. I believe it is. Yes, the resource ID. So it's or dot layout dot elements row, and then the actual text view ID is or dot id dot elements list text, and this last parameter here is the string. So we're going to actually get our string array now. So our string array elements equals I believe it's context dot get resources dot get string array, and then it's or dot I dot this is or dot res or dot value or string it's or dot array dot elements array. That's it. And then we're just going to put that in there. So now we've got our array adapter up and ready to go. We'll set that to the list. Elements list dot set adapter. And that should, if all went well, make our joint list of elements appear on screen. So we'll click run. And in here now we should have a giant list of elements ready to go. Yep. So as you can see, we have all the elements of the periodic table in here ready to go. So as you can see, we've got this text here, okay, and then we've got these great big gaps in our view. So that's why we want to put them side by side, because it look nice having the list of stuff on one side and having the other list and having the details in there that will interchange. So we press Ctrl F11 and rotate it. Oh god, it looks horrible. It's hideous. It's hideous. It's hideous. Look at that. This is a travesty when you see this kind of thing. I actually need to center that. I'm just going to center this here. I'm going to change its gravity to put it in the center. But what I don't understand is, with a little bit of care, you can actually make look, layout gravity. like with a little bit of care and some knowledge and proper fragment use, you can make tablet and phone apps run perfectly in harmony. And that's the thing a lot of people don't seem to get when they're developing, is that they think it runs on the phone. No, they build this amazing iOS app or app running and then they hack it together for Android. And very few companies actually focus on Android properly. Like One Louder is a very good company. So now we've got our list view ready. In the next, we're actually going to end this video here, and in the next video we're going to create our second fragment, our second activity, and we're going to start building our actual dual pane layout. So guys, if you haven't already, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.